Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, and a puzzle that we have had recommended a lot over recent days. It's called Entwined. It's an arresting grid, isn't it, with just these sort of staircases going up. And it's by Alaric Taki A, which is, I think Alaric goes under the pseudonym of Crusader 175. And these lines in the grid, they are two types of lines. They are index lines and entropic lines. And don't worry if you don't know what any of these things are. We shall discuss that in a moment or two, and I will explain everything. But I found this puzzle on Logic Masters Germany, and it has 3 stars out of 5 difficulty, an enormous approval rating. And just read some of these comments. They're absolutely fantastic. Snooker fan, really fun puzzle, very smooth once you understand the full implications of the rules. I always sort of trust snooker fans' comments. Faradin64, what a puzzle, and only 96%. If ever a puzzle should get 100%, it's this one. Anti-Knight says, cool idea. Codec feels like a discovery, really. What a beautiful and natural solve. Riff Clown also likes it, as does Vitamins. I've done a couple of Vitamins puzzles on the channel recently. They've been absolutely excellent. So if Vitamins is saying it's a brilliant construction, I think again that is a testament to what we're likely to experience if I can solve the puzzle. Hopefully we'll all be good. And I'll read the rules in a moment or two's time. Now, I don't have too much to tell you about today. I will say go and check out over on Patreon. We've got our regeneration Sudoku hunt. It's still live for another week. Have I got the league table of? Oh no, I don't think I've got it today. Bobbins. Okay, but there's basically you can see from this picture, it's a series of puzzles that are linked together at corners, so you can sort of steadily make your way through. The feedback's been great so far, it really has, and you've got plenty of time. The closing date is the 20th. A chance to win the opportunity to make a Sudoku video with me that will appear on the channel in due course. We'll solve a puzzle together and try and record it, and technology allowing, it'll appear on the channel. So if that's something that you think you might enjoy, do enter. It's over on Patreon right now. There was something else I wanted to share with you, wasn't there? There was that poem I saw. Have I got that? I did try and snip the poem in preparation for a video today. Have I got? Yeah, no, I have got it. Right. So sometimes what happens is on Facebook, all of these social media things, they learn what you like. Well, Facebook has learnt I like poetry. And so quite often it will recommend a poem to me, many of which I'm not bowled over by, but this one I thought was very poignant. And now the author's name is Mairead Donnellan. And the poem is called Watching the Last Station, and The Last Station is a film that came out relatively recently about Tolstoy and his relationship with his wife, Sophia. And you may think, well, that can't be fodder for a poem, surely, but I think it might be. So let me try and do this justice. Now, sorry about that. I had to cut it because I misread a word, and I can't abide it when I misread a word in a poem. So I have to start again. That's the rules. Right. Watching the Last Station by Mairead Donnellan. From separate armchairs, we watched Tolstoy die, and although we expected it, like newsmen rooted to the platform, our breath froze at the final word. As Sophia clung to a growing coldness, neither of us drank from our glasses, almost empty of Merlot, for fear some old grief might fly from our open throats. It is not what we have buried that shook us. Something unspoken moved us to forgive everything, a slow dawning that this is what becomes of love. Short and sweet, but I think rather poignant. And let me know if you agree, or whether I should stop reading poetry forthwith. Either option is available. Now, any other news? Let me look. I have got a birthday to do today. Yes, I do, and I've got a picture. Andrew over there in Indiana. You have turned 44. And your wife, Abra, wanted to wish you happy birthday, wanted me to wish you happy birthday, and even sent me proof that you watch Cracking the Cryptic. I've got it. I have got it. Oh, obviously my screen is all over the place. So this is Andrew. And Andrew is indeed watching Cracking the Cryptic. So thank you for doing that, Andrew. I hope you get this message, and I hope you've had a great birthday today with, of course, a large slice of heavily iced chocolate cake. And that, I think, is all the news. So why don't we have a look at Crusader 175's puzzle Entwined, and I will read you the rules properly. We have got normal Sudoku rules apply, which means we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. All lines are both index lines and entropic lines. Along an index line, the digit in the nth cell along a line, starting from the diamond, indicates the position along the line where the digit n appears. So I have looked at these before. So imagine that was an 8. What would that mean? Well, that is the 4th cell along the line, so it's indexing the position of the 4 along the line into the 8th cell, so that would be a 4. Let's do another one. Let's do another one on a different line. If this cell was a 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the 6th cell along the line, so it's indexing the position of the 6 into the 1st position. I hope I've remembered that correctly. I mean, that's certainly what I feel is going on with index lines. But these are also entropic lines. So any set of 3 sequential cells along a line must contain a low 1, 2, 3 digit, a middle, a 4, 5, 6 digit, and a high, a 7, 8, 9 digit. Now, what we don't know, of course, is the order. So let's start. This could be right, it could be wrong. We don't know. So here we've got one of each of these in these 3 cells along the line, but that must continue that pattern. So you can see in these 3 cells, it's also important that we have a middly digit, because we've had a high, a low, so there must be a middly. And then in these 3 cells, there must now be a high, so that would be a high, etc. So that's the second piece of rules. There's only one more rule. It says sum dots, but sum is spelled S-U-M, not S-O-M-E. Digits around the brown diamond may repeat and must sum to the given total. So those 4 digits sum to 22, those sum to 20, those sum to 22, those sum to 20. So we've got a lot of 2022s going on in the grid. That's all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play Let's Get Cracking. Now I have to say, my first thought here is to avail myself of a secret. And I do know a secret about index lines. And that is that you can never repeat a digit on an index line. And the sort of corollary of that is that the line must contain all of the different digits up to its length. And these are all length 9 lines, these staircases. Now, why, you might say, why can't you repeat a digit? Well, let's try. Let's make that a 2. Oopsie. And make this a 2. Let's see whether that could possibly work. What this is saying is write the digit 3 into the 2nd position. But what this is saying is write the digit 6 into the 2nd position. So this digit will sort of have to oscillate between values of 3 and 6 in a sort of perpetual motion machine, akin to what happens if you strap a slice of buttered toast to the top of a cat and then drop the cat. Obviously the cats always land on their feet, so the cat will try and land on its feet, but the buttered toast always lands butter side down, so the butter side down will also try and land butter side down, and that will sort of cause a whirring I'm sure that's right from a physics perspective. But that's what would happen in this cell, and that's not going to work, is it? So we mustn't do that. And so you can't repeat a digit on a line, and these are all length 9 lines. Now, what that's going to mean is that we have our old friend roping, because these digits we've just proved are different from these digits. We can play Sudoku, can't we? Play Sudoku. What I mean by that is that these 3 digits here, they cannot repeat along the line, and they cannot repeat in their own row, so they must go up there and therefore there by Sudoku. And then we'll just repeat that trick, shall we? Those digits, they can't repeat on the line, so they're going to have to go there and then there, and we're going to get this sort of stripy effect. And what that's going to mean, well, the thing is that's going to apply to this line and to the bottom line as well. I'm not sure whether I should continue the stripage, because I don't obviously know how these colours relate to the digits in these boxes. So it's not like I can go, oh well, these are green now. Green could be in those 3 in this box. We just don't know. We just know that there will be an equivalent roping, like if we mark these yellow, they'll be yellow, etc. But the interaction between yellow and purple and blue and green is unknown. So I'm not entirely sure it is worth doing that. Maybe we'll just try and remember there's roping here and roping here until we understand more. Now what I was going to do, which I might not do now, I was going to explore what the entropic features of this line mean, but I'm just wondering if I can think a little bit about this 22 clue. Because what's this saying? This is saying that 4 digits sum to 22, but they are made up of 2 of these digits and 2 of these digits. So it feels like there is something going on then regarding entropy, because it's not like I can take 9 and 8 from here and say, oh well, that could be a 9-8 pair. It absolutely couldn't be, because we know that those 3 digits contain 1 of each entropy from the entropy rule. There is a middly digit, 4, 5, 6, a low digit, 1, 2, 3, and a high digit, a 7, 8, 9. So what this could be is a high and a medium, and the same is true here. This could be a high and a medium. So 2 highs, so the maximum you could make, like this 2 by 2 sum to, is 9 plus 8 plus 6 plus, oh that's absolutely loads, that's 28. 9 plus 8 plus 6 plus 5. I think that's 28, which is obviously a lot bigger than 22. What about if you put, can you say that there can't be a 1 in there or so? Oh, actually. So let's say that there was a 1 in there, but there could be a 9 in there as well, couldn't there? So we could have 2 digits summing to 10. Oh, maybe that doesn't. Oh, no, it does work, because yeah, these could be a high and a medium again, and they could easily add up to 12. Okay, all right. Sorry, I think I've digressed. I'm going to go and think about the entropy principle. So you may have grokked when I was doing the example that whatever the entropy of this is, let's make it A for a moment, because we don't know whether this is low, middly or high, but we do know that these 3 digits have to include an A entropy, and that we can't repeat entropy within 3 cells. So this must be A, this must be A. So let's make that B entropy, that B entropy, that B entropy, that C entropy, that C entropy, and that C entropy. And has that helped us or not? So A is either a 1 2 3 triple, or a 4 5 6 triple, or a 7 8 9 triple. No, okay, that is a bit interesting. That is a bit interesting, actually. Ah, right. I don't actually understand this yet. I've spotted something. I just don't. I don't quite follow why the thing I've spotted is happening. Okay, let me just explain what I've spotted. So I was thinking about A being 1 2 3, and I saw that this couldn't be 2 or 3. Because this cell, from an index line perspective, this is indexing the position of 1 along this line. So if this was 2 or 3, that would be putting a 1 into one of these, but then we would have repeated entropy. We'd have 2 low digits in those 3 cells. So if this is 1 2 3, this has to be 1. But weirdly, watch this. If this is 4 5 6, then the problem comes in this cell. Because now this one can't be 5 or 6, because this one indexes the 4. So if that's 5 or 6, it's plonking a 4 into one of these cells and repeating entropy again. So this, if A is 4 5 6, this digit is 4. So if A is 1 2 3, this is 1. If A is 4 5 6, this is 4, and presumably that means if A is 7 8 9, this is 7, and we've got some sort of modular thing going on. Yeah, that is right, isn't it? If this is 7 8 9, then this digit can't be 8 or 9, because it would plonk a 7 into one of these and we'd repeat the entropy again. So this would be 7. So whatever you choose for A, you get a 1, a 4, or a 7 fixed in the puzzle. And whatever you choose for B then, so if B was low, then it's the 2. Yeah, so you always have to index yourself. Yeah, that's really interesting. So one of the digits... Let me try and explain how this works. This is it's beautiful actually, but sort of a bit strange. So let's look at B and make those 1, 2, and 3. Now what I'm seeing here is that one of these digits indexes itself. This is in the second position. So if this was anything other than a 2, which it has the right to be, because we've said that these digits are the 1, 2, 3 entropy. If this is anything other than a 2, the puzzle breaks, because it's indexing the 2 into a position where it can't go from an entropic perspective. So this... So this would be a 2. Then it wouldn't... This would be 1 or 3 indexing a 5. Into one of those positions. Oh yes. Oh, right. Okay, this is really weird. Oh, come on. Yeah. Yes. So this is okay. I think I've finally understood it. Right. I'm just going to delete these because I'm going to make a statement, and we can see if we agree with my statement. So I said when we were thinking about, I was thinking about making A, which were these three. And we sequentially made them a 1, 2, 3 triple, then a 4, 5, 6 triple, then a 7, 8, 9 triple. And I noticed that there was always a 1, 4, 7 that got forced into one of those three positions that I've highlighted there. And I noted that was modular. But I think there's something more profound going on than that. So by modular, what do I mean? Well, look at your number pad on your keyboard. You can see that the vertical stripes, 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 6, 9, we sometimes call those modular in Sudoku solving because each of those sets of digits has a different remainder when divided by 3. 1, 4, 7 always has a 1 remainder, 2, 5, 8 always has a 2 remainder, and 3, 6, 9 always has a 0 remainder. If you divide 6 by 3, it goes exactly. So I'm used to thinking about these digits, but what I've just noticed then, when we were looking at these being 1, 2, 3, and I noted that you certainly can't make this anything other than 2. So within each entropic sequence, there will always be one digit that indexes itself, or could index itself. So imagine these were 7, 8, 9. The 9 could index itself and must index itself. Otherwise, you're putting the 9 from the indexing into one of these positions, because this will be a 7 or an 8, and then you'll get repeated entropy. So always within these threesomes, you must take the digit that could index its own position on the line and put it into that cell. But what I hadn't appreciated, so that's going to force this to be a 2, is look at the effect of those. Because we are skipping every 3 cells, these digits are indexing the other ones from the 258 modular set into those 2 positions. It's beautiful. I can see clearly now the clouds have parted. So let's do do you see what I mean? Because these now will be a 1-3 pair indexing 5s and 8s into these positions. So this will become a 258 triple. Now let's instead, because it's going to work exactly the same way, imagine that these were high digits, 7, 8, 9. Which one of these indexes itself? The 8 does. So this must be 8, otherwise, let's try and make it 7. That's saying index the 8th, this is the 8th position along the line, into position 7, and now we've broken entropy. So this has to be 8, therefore these are a 7, 9 pair in positions 2 and 5 along the line, so these are a 2 and a 5, and we get a 258 triple. And if we instead shift to this cell, for example, well, those are positions 3, 6, 9 along the line, so these 3 digits are indexing the 3, the 6, and the 9 into a 3-cell sequence, because either those 3 positions I've just highlighted will be 1, 2, 3, or they'll be 4, 5, 6, or they'll be 7, 8, 9. So what we're now learning is that each stripe, each roped stripe, this is an amazing idea. Each roped stripe is a modular set. So green is either going to be 147, 258, or 369, and the same for purple, the same for blue. And that's going to propagate down the whole puzzle. But okay, so it must be It must be the sum thingies that are going to disambiguate this, because we're not going to... There's no way to know anything. Right, okay. Oh, good grief. Oh, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. Yeah. Because now, let's look at this sequence. How long does this take? It's taken me a while to spot this, but I think I now understand it. Okay. These 4 digits are made, because we've worked out that each colour represents a certain modularity, i.e. it has a particular remainder when divided by 3. Now 22 as a number is not divisible by 3. It has a 1 remainder when divided by 3. 21 is the closest. So 22 has a 1 remainder. Now we have to generate a 1 remainder from 2 digits of some particular modularity and 2 digits from another modularity. So we now know that blue and pink are not a 147 and 258 set, because that would be 2 of the 147 modularity, which have a 1 remainder, and 2 of the 2 remainder 258 modularity, and that would create a 2 by 2 that was exactly divisible by 3. So one of these is from 369 modularity. Now the other one, the other one is going to be from 258 modularity, because we can have 2 digits from 258 modularity, which have a remainder of 2 each. So a remainder of 2 plus another remainder of 2 is a remainder of 4, but we can divide 4 by 3 to leave a net remainder of 1, which is what we need for 22. That has a net remainder of 1. And now we know, because this blue and pink sequence must be 369 and 258, green is 147. And now does that mean... I want to say that makes this one, that might be wrong, because it's indexing itself, and I know things have to index themselves in this puzzle to the extent that they can. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Because if we didn't allow the 1 to index itself, let's say we put the 4, we said, oh, hang on, no. Yeah, it doesn't work. If this was 4 or 7, that would be saying 1 in this position or in this position, where 1s can't go, because we know that the stripes are modular. So this is 1, and that's a digit in the puzzle out of absolutely nowhere. And I know what this is going to be. Oh, right. I'm going to go back to creating some ropes. Excuse me for doing this, but I think I might need to. Let's just make another ropey sequence. Because what have we got here for this 20? We've got one blue and 1 pink. Now we don't know at the moment the disposition of blue, and we don't know whether blue is 258 or pink is 258, but we do know the net remainder of these 2 cells when divided by 3, because we've got one cell. One of those cells is a 369, so it has a 0 remainder. The other cell is a 258 and has a 2 remainder. So these 2 cells have a net 2 remainder, and 20 has a 2 remainder, because we can divide 20. 18 would be the closest divider of 3 with a 2 remainder. So these 2 must preserve. They must have a net remainder of 0 when divided by 3, which I think means they have to be 147 and 258. Yes, they do. That's the only way of combining 2 of the moduluses that we have to leave a 0 remainder when divided by 3. So in the middle cells, because one of these is 147 and one of these is 258, the red cells are 369. This is fantastic. This is a fantastic puzzle. Now, does that mean that that's a 6? I think it does. because if that was 3, it would be saying index of 6 into position 3, and it would clash. So this is 6. Oh, this is stunning. This is stunning. Right, now we might be able to do different things actually, because that's saying 3. That's indexing the 4 into either this position or the 9th position, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. 4 is either there. So if this was 3... Oh, hang on. Oh, am I going mad? So that would be, if that was 3, that would be putting 4 there. If that was 9, it would be putting 4 there. 4 is a middly digit. Yeah, but that doesn't... So, yeah, but we could get 5s. 5 in these positions as well, couldn't we? That's what we're going to get. Oh, maybe it's something to do with that. Oh, okay, hang on. Well, hang on, let's keep going. Because we've got roping at the bottom as well. Let's think about that. Let's make that one... I'm going to run out of colours here. Right, so what colours have I not... I've not used orange. Let's make that orange. Although, we'll make those orange. And then I've got one colour... Oh, it must be my indigo colour. So those are indigo. Now, those two cells have a net remainder of 0, because that's one from the 147 set and one from the 258 set. 22 has a 1 remainder, and we're looking for 2 different moduluses to have a 1 remainder. So we must be looking at 369 and 147. Because the only other way of creating a 1 remainder would be to have 2 of the 258 variety, but we know, because of our work, that these are different moduluses, so these are not both 258 modularity. So one of these is 147, one of these is 369, which means that the indigo is 258. And therefore I've got to pick which one of these is in the correct position on the line, which is the 8. Which means that these, by entropy, are 7 and 9. That's exactly what we did here. And okay, and what's this 20 better work, or I've made a right mess of this. So 20, we've got 2 digits from 369 modularity, which is net 0, and 2 digits from 147 modularity. Perfect, so that's a net remainder of 2, and 20 is indeed a number which has a remainder of 2 when divided by 3. So it does make sense. So far, so good. But I don't know what to do now. What do we do now? Is it something to do with this? Because I've got this as 4 or 5. It seems to be the only 2 by 2 in which I have a possible digit, but 4 or 5 is very horrible, because it means these 3 digits are not far away from having a very average. 5 is the average Sudoku digit, and 3 5s are 15, so it's pretty close to being a very average total for the foursome, isn't it? Oh, okay. I was looking at where 1 went by Sudoku in this box. 1's in one of those 3. 1 can't be there. Because again, that's going to throw us into a problem. Because this is indexing the 2 along the line into this position, and we'd have 2 of the same entropy. So one. Oh, that's all we need. Right, this is sick. Right, that's all we need. Once we know that 1 is a black digit in the middle 3 rows, because we know that that preserves with preserving modularity, black is now 147. We can fill these in. This is a 5. So yellow is 258 modularity. These are not 5. So these are 2 and 8, indexing the 1. Well, hang on, one of these. Oh, this is even better now, because one of these has to index itself, and the only one that can is the 2. So that's an 8, and that should index a 1 on the line into position 8, which is here. Oh, this is just, this does feel, was it Codec who said something like this feels like a discovery? It does. It's bizarre. 5 is indexing, this 5 has to be a 3 now, doesn't it? That's indexing the 3 into this position. So this is a 9, and the 9 is indexing the 4. So this middle line is just done. I didn't have to do anything, it just filled itself in. I've now got a 7 around that one. Right, so there's something going on. This can't be an 8. Can I do that same trick again? How did that trick work? That thing couldn't go on the line. So, but okay, we know that this is 2 or 3, because we know that that's low entropy, that's middle entropy, that's got to be low entropy, that's got to be low entropy. I'm not sure if I can do something with that. Yeah, I think it's okay. It's much more straightforward. Where's 6 in box 2? And again, the answer is I don't really know, except when the moment you think about it, you realise it can't be here. Because if that's 6, this is 5, because this is the 5th position, and now I've repeated entropy in those 2 cells. So that is not 6. And once that's not 6, we've now established that purple, or pink, it must be the 369. This is absolutely wonderful. So that's 369. We know that that's low entropy, so that's the 3. This is therefore 2, because this must be the 258 set. Let's fill all those in. These are not 2. That's not 2. 2 is indexing the position of the 4, so that one goes in. That becomes 7, indexing the 3. Oh, that indexes the 3 to this position. We must make sure that we don't... the digit that can index itself must. The digit that can index itself must. And this line is now finished. Oh, now we've got a 22 here. Is that going to be helpful? Does that have to have 9 in it, maybe? Not necessarily. That can't be it. We can do a little bit of tidying up. That can't be 5, that can't be 2. I mean, actually, that's that's really not very much tidying up. Oh, no, I was about to say there's no way that could be a 9, but it could be if that was double 2. That's rather upsetting. In fact, maybe I tell you what I should do. I should preserve the colouring, shouldn't I? So yellow is now blue, red is now purple, and therefore this one should be green. And ideally, we want to try and... Well, we can do it down here a bit. Indigo apparently is 258, so that's blue. Oh, I don't know what I pressed there. I didn't mean to press it. So all we've actually got to do... Yeah, I see what you do. This 6 again is huge. Because I simply cannot put the 6 here, because it would repeat the entropy. This is the 4th position, it would put a 4 here. So that means that 6 is in lime green, and once 6 is in lime green becomes purple. So this is definitely a 9 now, so that must be a 7. These are 1, 4, 7. These are 3, 6, 9. Get rid of 9 from these. Get rid of 7 from those. Now make sure that whenever we can, we pinpoint digits into the positions that they... Oh, so the 8 is indexing itself. But surely we know what that is, don't we? Yeah, that's indexing the 7 because it's in the 7th position. So that should be indexing the 9, and it does. So... Okay, so is Sudoku going to do this now, he says. It's a little bit desperate. I hope so, but I really hope so. That can't be 7. Okay, I think all I can do now is just be incredibly diligent about my Sudoku and hope. Maybe here 8 is on this 22, so can 9 really be on it as well? Actually 6 is on it. 14, no. Okay, here we go, this is where we can look now. So this 2 by 2 by Sudoku, it's got a 6 on it and it's got an 8 on it. 14. So it's got 2 more digits, so that can't include 9, so that has to be a 6, I think. So that's 6, 3, that's 9, that's 3, that's 6, that's 9. Now I've got 9 on it, so these have to add up to 13. So they've got to be 8, 5, given the options. So that's got to be 5, that's got to be 8, that's got to be 2. So that's 5, 8, 2. Oh look, yeah, okay, and now we can start to polish up these 1, 4, 7 options. Can that be a 1? That would be 6, so these would have to be a 7, 9 pair, and they can't be, so that's got to be 4. So that's 1, that's 7, that's 4, that's 7, that's 1. This is brilliant, isn't it? Isn't it brilliant? Right, these are, that's good, this is good. These add up to 9, so these have to add up to 13. The only option I think is 7, 6, which is going to mean that's 9, that's 3, that's 9, that's 6, that's 3. This is 1, this is 4. So this is 7. Oh, I tell you what would help me. I was looking at these thinking these colours don't feel right. But if I do that, it's a little easier to see what's going on. That's 4, that's 1. I've not, oh, right, well that is double 2, because I have got 16 around this now. So 2, 5, 8, 5, 2, 8, 2, yeah, it's okay, 5, 8, 8, 2, 5. And we've still got this one. This is a very important one indeed. It's got to do some heavy lifting for us. That can't be 7, that can't be 1. Right, we've got to get 20. But we do know it's got a 9 in it from this 9. So there is a 9 on here. What else is there? There's definitely a 4. So one of those is a 4. So we've got 13. So we can't have 7, because then the other digit would have to be a 0. So that's got to be a 4. That's 1. Oh, whoopsie. That's got to be 7, therefore. So 1, 4, 7. Snooker maximum, although I read it in the wrong order. So now I've got 5. So I need a 6 to get to 20. So that's the only place a 6 can apparently go. So it's got to be that. And that's 9. And that's 3. That is a sensationally good puzzle. Fabulous. Absolutely fascinating. And executed, frankly, unbelievably well. Because even once Crusader 175 has discovered this weird sort of modularity thing going on along the staircases, the selection of these clues, the way that we could trace the modularity down the grid and then use that to pinpoint the modularity of the stripes was gorgeous. And the fact that somehow that resolved the puzzle is just magical. It's magical. That is a miracle Sudoku. Definitely. Fascinating and beautiful in a sort of weird way. Crusader 175, take a bow. That is a stunning, stunning puzzle. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic. I'm going to think about this for a long time. This is brilliant.